This video is brought to you in part by Simply Safe, and we'll talk about them very soon. Rip. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was kind of halfway anticipating this to happen. It happened way earlier and randomly than I thought it would be, though. Basically, oof. Don't worry, guys. We'll get her fixed. Wifey to the rescue. Go ahead and pull straight in front of that building, yeah. Come this way. Rip. We'll get you fixed, baby. All right, I got one shot at this. I gotta be quick. I know you could. Good job.
Thanks, babe. Nice.
Good?
Yep.
Ooh, baby. Simply Safe is a super easy to use, incredibly customizable, affordable form of security system. First off, Simply Safe obviously has a huge variety of products. With these guys, you actually get highest priority police dispatch because their monitoring staff provides real eyewitness detail to the police. You've got video doorbells and cameras outside the house that can alert you. You have smart locks and entry sensors available. And then on the inside, you've got motion and glass breaking sensors. Get this little guy, this is the base station right here. What's really cool is this stuff will still work if you lose power, lose Wi-Fi, or if the system's attacked. It also protects your home from fires, water damage, carbon monoxide, like this is a little thing right here, put in my water heater tray. Simply Safe is the #1 expert recommended home security. From places like The Verge, PC Mag, and CNET, they all recommend them, and this type of security is actually used by police departments across the country. It's 50 cents a day with absolutely no contracts, and that's really hard to beat these days. And then you also have the new Simply Safe lock. This is something really awesome that is a programmable lock for your doors, which you can also use to lock your door remotely. One of the most common ways to have an intruder come into your house is by having an unlocked entry point. This is going to help you out a lot with that. You can keep track of who comes and goes with unique access codes, and you can grant access to guests from anywhere. If somebody comes to your house and you gotta let them in, the door's locked, you can be like, ching-ching, unlocked. This is one of my personal favorites, the video cam doorbell. You never know who's gonna come to your door. We've used this for years, and it is my favorite. Aside from like actual surveillance cameras, this is one of my favorite things we have in the house. You guys know I've got a lot of precious goods around this house. It's important for me to make sure that I'm completely protected. You guys can be too. If you guys wanna check out Simply Safe, I have a link for you guys in the description. Check them out, read more into it, find out what suits you guys the best. Whatever you got going on, they can definitely protect you. Now, on to the rest of the video. I made a little mess on the trailer. But dude, I skirted this dude back in the garage. Now I will say this is one of the days where I'm super thankful to have a trailer and a Tahoe, something to tow with, and then also a wife that works from home that can leave anytime to help me out. So this is certainly a little bit unsettling. Here I am, just starting to work on the car a little bit. I'm taking the motor mount, I'm undoing the motor mounts just so I can maybe jack up the motor a little bit, just so I can get a few more inches to work with here. Taking out the motor mounts, and they're finger tight, both of them. This car was obviously in interesting shape and was taken care of not so well. And the fact that the motor mounts weren't even tight is kind of scary. With all things considered, I'm kind of glad I'm having to do this right now because I would have never known until I was swapping the GTE in for that. What happened, guys, was this connection right here, the oil drain, came out. Now you guys know whenever I did this eBay turbo kit, I wasn't going for longevity. I did the same thing before with my Civic and it worked really well. But for some reason this car didn't really like the way that I put the drain in. It just became disconnected and that's where all the oil came from. I could have definitely, absolutely blown and devastated my motor. But it didn't. Knowing that I did this, I have been looking over my shoulder every time I've been driving the car and I've been kind of ready for this to happen. So I took a trip to the store, got some left-handed drill bits, and I even got some specialty tools. I was getting something that drills and taps in the same set. First thing it does is break. This is my luck. And honestly, this is why I didn't do this the first time. Went ahead and bought this tool because I need some Milwaukee stuff, but this extractor is literally not even trying to work. So, but good news is I was at least able to use this and clean it up, and now I can at least see what's going on down there. I can try and extract some stuff, but this bottom one is now screwed. This top one is gonna be really tough to try and extract that guy out. So I'm now realizing that the first epoxy, this is not the first epoxy I used, but the first epoxy I used was not a steel reinforced epoxy, which in order to bond aluminum correctly, you have to have the right kind of epoxy. I had sent Victoria to the store for it, not realizing that there was so many options, honestly. I didn't even check it. And I think what I had used was just a regular, like, quick setting epoxy instead of something that should cure in about 4 to 6 hours. This is what I used the first time around. Dude, do you guys hear this bird? Chill. Anyways, so we're gonna use it this time around the right way. And now that I actually have super easy access to it, I'm gonna get it done super well. Another thing I didn't even know existed though was this little tube right here. It's an attachment on the epoxy things, which actually mixes and very precisely yeets it into place exactly where you need to. So what I'm gonna do now, get this sucker back on there, get that thermostat, water neck on, all that kind of stuff. And as I was tightening it down, I had to put a lot of force on it, and it just broke. There's epoxy like in the lines. Oh boy. I think I might have one more option. I went to the toilet store and then got this last ditch effort here. I'm going to use this thread and the length of this to shove into that little hole and use either epoxy or gasket maker for that, and then still epoxy the rest of it on. If this doesn't work, I'm screwed.
Tomorrow.
If this doesn't work, I'm gonna have to like pull the motor out. I don't really know if there's anything better in this situation to do. All right, here we go, come on. Here's the scary part. Come on. Oh God, it's not even tight yet. It's like not even getting close. It's getting kind of close. Oh God, I'm so scared right now. Dude, what are you doing? Okay, it's tight. One more little. We're good. Oh my God. Oh boy. Almost pooped myself for a second, dude. It works, and that took way longer than I wanted it to have this car back on the road. Now, I just gotta put the motor back in place. It's jacked up. It actually kind of shifted that way a little bit, and so I gotta get my hoist and actually physically move it because I can't push it back this way. A little unnecessary. Two things, I've filled up oil, so we're good. Got fresh oil in there, and I actually know how much I have. Two, I've got to go ahead and completely re-burp the car now. I did drain a lot of coolant out of taking that water neck off. You guys should definitely have one of these things. You can get them at pretty much any parts store. As soon as that thermostat as soon as the thermostat opens, that stuff's just gonna suck all the way down. Today's fixes were obviously pretty temporary. Anything to keep the GE kicking a little bit longer. I showed you guys the other day, I have a great video of me making this GTE beautiful. I'd love for that motor to be in ASAP, but also I am having a lot of fun with this setup. So whatever we can do to make this thing kick just a little longer works for me. All right, let's get her to start drinking. This is really funny. This is not as bad as some of you guys might think, but this turbo, because it's just a cheap eBay journal bearing, and it's big, it doesn't spin at idle sometimes. It does on cold starts because there's more air flowing. As soon as you rev it up, it'll start doing it, but it's just really funny because it just sits there at idle. You're like, oh, is it broken? Sometimes really, really big turbos will do that, but this being the mix of a big and a cheap turbo, that's what it does. Sorry, neighbors. right, so she's passed all of the tests. There's no leaks, no nothing, so I'm gonna take her for a spin. Hoping for nothing, but great things, dude. This time around, because the fitting that I got actually went into that hole, that actually gave it a lot of leverage and oomph and security. Ah! Okay, so I think I might have boosted a little too hard and popped another intercooler pipe off, which has been annoyingly normal for this, but so far I've driven it a while and she's doing pretty good, so. Oh yeah, we definitely got an intercooler pipe off. Pop, 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 dude. This sounds so good, dude. Ah, the most important part, right by the throttle body. Yeah. Dude. She healthy, bro? Ultimate test. Pipe off again. Damn. Yeah, so I pretty much just need to, oh my god, dude, these tires are so nice. I pretty much just need to tighten up everything again and like re-tighten it. I probably need to hairspray some of the couplers just to keep them on there, because these suckers pop off real easily. The car drives really good, burning off a little bit of smoke from the exhaust from before, but we're good now. He blew it off again. Man, I don't really know what I was expecting there though. Amazing. Amazing. I love this car so much. It's a little stinky from, I have a lot of residual oil that came down and kind of like ran through on the bottom of the exhaust and stuff, so I'm seeing a little bit of that smoke off, but now I'm not seeing any new oil hitting the ground, so that's tight. I give my own stamp of approval here. It's time to put on the side skirts because this car's good again. I gotta go inside now. We're back, boys. Supra's back on the road. Didn't want to just make like a clickbaity title for this one. I wanted to make sure that I found it was wrong and I resolved it in the same video. It's really important to me to do stuff like that these days. There's so many channels that'll just like, super broke, and then I'll do a Q&A for the last 10 minutes. Wanted the car to be off the road and back on the road, hitting rev limiter, hitting the rev test, living big, revving bigger by the end of the video. And that's my policy, bro. Live big, rev big. So, skirts are back on, which means this thing's officially back on the road. I'm actually super confident in this job, the job that I did. I mean, obviously, this is obviously like several different days in this video where trial and error. Tried one thing, didn't work, tried another thing, didn't work. And obviously, for the nicer type of epoxy that I had to use this time instead of like the crappy one, dude, these birds are stoked it's sunny right now. That takes like 12 to 14 to 15 hours to settle, so you know, it's like, this is like a 4 or 5 day happening. So I'm really hoping that that just sticks around for a little while. I mean, if it lasts a month, month and a half, that is like the goal for me. By the time that's over, this sucker will have injectors. I would really love to just push some stupid power out of this GE next. Dude, these freaking birds are going sicko mode right now. What I want to leave you guys with today, this is my daily advice. I end every video with daily advice. If you guys don't remember this, but today I want to end you guys with this. The elephant is the biggest animal in the jungle. The cheetah is the fastest. The chimpanzee is the smartest. But the lion is still the king. You know why? Because the lion has a king-type mentality. He's not the fastest, the biggest, the strongest, or even the smartest, but the mentality of the lion is what makes a lion a lion. It applies the same thing to life. You don't gotta be the biggest. You don't gotta be the best, you don't gotta be the smartest, and you don't gotta be the fastest. As long as you have that lion mentality, you can do a lot of amazing things. For me, I don't gotta have the biggest channel, the fastest growing channel. I don't gotta be the smartest guy. I'm pretty dang smart, don't roast me there. I'm telling you, your mentality is what gets you 90% of places in life. And then obviously you mix in with your work ethic and stuff as well, but just remember that. Lion is king because of his mentality. You guys have an amazing mentality today. It's important. Peace out. Y'all have an amazing day. Hey, I'm gonna sing with these birds. What's up, baby? They're telling you to watch those 2 videos that are in front of your domes. So I have 2 videos that are sitting right there. Don't click out. Click one of those 2 videos so you can keep watching. It helps me a lot. And I can make good videos.